Okay, so I was supposed to record my first reaction to this, but I was so tired that I messed up the recording software. You didn't miss too much, but at the very least I can make my thoughts more concise with this one. Let's just go through it, because I think I probably should watch it again. I probably would have done it anyways. It's like
Dr. Henry
Jurassic
Loomis,
Park
this is
themed
Zora
museum
Bennett,
exhibit.
our mission specialist.
Zora, that's her
Sorry, what
name.
mission?
Okay.
This would be a medical breakthrough that could save countless lives. It comes from the largest dinosaurs on the planet.
Oh my God. Fortunately for us,
Titanosaur of some
all
kind.
these species exist in one isolated place. Can you be ready tomorrow?
I can guarantee your safety. I mean, more or less.
More or less? He's your guy?
We're the best at moving things and people in and out of places they shouldn't be.
Move up towards Barbados, avoid government patrol, but there aren't that many anymore.
Why's that?
I like this line.
No one's dumb enough to go where we're going.
This island was the research facility for the
it's
original
like-
Jurassic Park.
I can say that, but everything looks so clean and it looks more like
We
a
need DNA
alien
from the three biggest
set.
dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Do we have to get a sample from an egg?
Also, it's nothing. Is
I
that
suppose we could try and get it from the
what?
parent, but
That
they're
guy's
flying
with him. He looked like
carnivore
the rich
size
guy's
of
funding
F-16.
operation, but he's here the whole adventure. That's interesting.
Maybe
I
we
guess.
should make it quick.
And you got this weird Quetzalcoatl set. It doesn't. I don't even know if it's Quetzalcoatl. It doesn't look like it.
These dinosaurs were too dangerous for the original park.
And then you got this,
Please don't say they're raptors. They're raptors.
The worst of the
and
worst
then this weird mutant monster.
were left here.
The Xenomorphosaurus.
We put ourselves in a place we don't belong. Survival is a long shot.
I like that line.
What the hell are
Like,
those?
pack hunting spinos with a freaking Mosa.
Defend territory, stalk, hunt.
None of what you just said is good.
Yeah, really nice looking, but yeah, it's like I still don't have a lot to say. Like it's. I think I should point out the obvious things. One, we have some really good looking dinosaur designs. The Titanosaur, I don't know what species it is because even though I've read the leaks, I don't remember. And again, that's sort of my whole. I think I should preface, if anyone's watching this who doesn't know me, I hate Dominion. I really do, and it killed my interest in this franchise. Bad. Like, really bad. And, yeah, that's really all I can say about it. After Dominion, I didn't watch Chaos Theory until like a year after its release. I still haven't seen season 2, even though I kind of liked the first one. I just don't feel anything. Like, I saw this trailer was released this morning, and I was like, oh, I guess I have to do a video on it. And that was like, I think that's the moment when I know something is really wrong. Because I was excited for every Jurassic World trailer. Like, Jurassic World, Fallen Kingdom, even Dominion. But after Dominion, I've just become so jaded. So, I should point out that I have little hope for this movie to be good. I want it to be, but it's gonna really need to prove itself. But with this trailer, it can't do that. It's only a trailer. I don't know what the story is. I can't see the whole movie. I can point out things that I do like dinosaur designs. The Titanosaur looks great. Very realistic, chunky neck. Some display structures that aren't unreasonable. I'd say that, that's pretty good speculative display structure sort of, thing going on there. I like the whole theme is like, oh, no one's dumb enough to go here. We really shouldn't be here. Survival is whatever. It's like, yeah. That's the thing we want to get back to. And I'm hoping we can see people die in this movie. But it's like, I don't know. We'll see how they do, how they go. And look at this. This raptor in the tube. This thing looking at this. Tell me this couldn't just be a face hugger. Like this, I'm getting serious alien vibes from this movie. And let's look at this. This is one that really caught me off guard. This can't, I don't know, is this supposed to be a Quetzal or not? Because look, it's got like a beak crest. There's no head crest. This is some other giant Azdarkid species, right? Because that's, I don't know. Let me put that on mute. It's like, that does not look like a Quetzal. I don't know. because the rest of the designs are really realistic, except for a few. We'll get to that. Like, we got this weird xenomorphosaurus, so you don't see any eyes on it. It has, if we find the one shot back here, it's got like, and it's kind of hard to see, but there's like a second set of arms on its chest. And so we got some weird monster dinosaur, and then we get these realistic, really good realistic looking Spinos for up-to-date designs, and the Mosasaur too. You can see that it's got like the sort of more square sail that we know of nowadays. If we get the shots of like on the ship, we can see it's got like the little notch in its mouth. And then we can get the Mosa, and it's like smooth on the back, and it's got like really good looking jaw. So we have a very realistic looking Titanosaur, Spinosaur, Mosasaur, the canceled, I guess the Azdarcid pterosaur of some description. I don't know what it is. And these are all up-to-date sort of realistic designs. And then you'll notice that there are 3 who aren't, which are curious to note. Because we get, of course, also, just look at that. This scene them running down the hallway. It was like it's like right out of an Alien movie. So the Dilophosaur looks like the original. That's unchanged. The T-Rex looks like the original T-Rex. That's unchanged. And we only get a brief like shot of the raptor's feet in that one shot where they were like in the dark. Like over here. There we go. We get raptors. So it looks like the designs that are going to keep are the original 3 carnivores. So the only designs that are not being updated are the original 3 carnivores for the movie, and then we get a bunch of weird updated designs. And if this is supposed to be the original research facility, how does that happen? How do you get a more realistic Spinosaurus before the amalgam testings? That implies that a lot of things that are happening right now on this island happened after, which means that if this was the original quote-unquote, something clearly happened after 1993 to bring all these new designs in. Which is hopefully explored in the movie, and hopefully isn't just ignored. I really hope that David actually does properly do this, because I have some faith in him. He's produced a lot of great movies, or written a lot of great movies. But my thoughts are simple, that the story needs to clinch it. The story has been trash for all of the Jurassic World movies. Let's just be real here. Jurassic World movies plots have been absolute dog water for God knows. We know how long. It's been 2014. The original movie story was trash. Fallen Kingdom's story was trash. Dominion's story was an absolute disaster. Just the worst possible way they could have written that movie. And so, they're really gonna have to work hard to show that they're willing to actually bring some competent people on board to make decent movies. It is worth pointing out that this is the best CGI I've seen since Fallen Kingdom. Dominion had some spotty quality. I mean, some of it looked really bad, and some of it looked really good, but I haven't seen a single shot in this trailer that makes me think, wow, this is really bad. All these shots look really nice. And that makes sense, because they have Gareth Edwards as a director, and he's really good at directing special effects crews. And that's really what it comes down to with this movie, is that they have a lot of talented people. And if they can just get a good story, and there is a way to write this movie as a really good story, but I want to go out of this movie without the feeling I have after I left Jurassic World, Fallen Kingdom, and Dominion, where I thought, man, I could probably write this movie better. I want this movie to be good enough that I don't feel like, as a hobbyist writer, I could have done a better job. I can't do that with the original Jurassic Park. I can't do that with The Lost World. I can do that with Jurassic Park 3, World, Fallen Kingdom, and Dominion. I want another movie, and since David wrote both those Jurassic Park and the Lost World movies, I want to believe that he could pull out another Jurassic Park movie that is so good that I could not write better. I really do. And I can only hope for that, but right now I'm... I don't know if I mentioned this, but when I woke up and I saw this trailer, I didn't feel excited for it. Dominion killed my excitement for this franchise so effectively. I saw the trailer and I was like, oh, guess I got to do a YouTube video on that. And there was that brief moment where I just sat there and thought to myself, how have I ended up with this kind of opinion on the Jurassic Park franchise? This has happened to everybody else, I'm sure, because movie critics have hated all the Jurassic World movies. Tons of audiences have liked them. They get low ratings all the time, but I have always been a staunch fan. But the Dominion has so effectively killed my excitement for this franchise, and it's good to see them trying to pull in the opposite direction. The only question is, can they pull it off? Can they make me excited about Jurassic Park again? I don't know. That's a big I don't know. And I can only hope that that they can. I want them to. I want them to get my excitement back, but I'm not going to have hope. I'm going with this trailer from cautious to cautiously optimistic. CGI looks good. The world looks vibrant and fun. It's got a good alien vibe going for it with mutant monsters and all the shots of running down the hallways and the darkness and whatnot. I mean, it looks more scary with the giant monster, mutant dinosaur, which they also have to handle really, really well. I mean, this makes sense as an experiment that was left behind after they were trying to clone dinosaurs originally. It's just like some genetic freak that they created. Or it could be from the crew that came after, because I genuinely do believe this is supposed to be the original research facility, but we see these tubes and designs that look way too new. Like, look, this is too clean. This is not... We've seen what engine research facilities from the past look like. This looks like like the railings and the concrete walls. All this looks good. And in the middle of this is just this modern tube. Almost like... it's got two heads. I just realized that. Huh. So, yeah. I guess maybe? Because it's like an old Jurassic Park Raptor. And yeah, I guess I just confirmed that this is the old design. It's got a more narrow head. It's really old. That's not the blocky head of the Jurassic World Raptors. So they're going really old school. Like, they're not just, a lot of the designers make the mistake of, oh, that's just the classic Jurassic Park Raptor, and they just slap Evolution did. Where they just slapped the old Raptor skins on the new blocky headed Raptors. But that's a narrow snout. Look at that. That's actually a classic Raptor. We can see that. It's got the arrowhead shape rather than like the brick sort of squared off shape of the new designs. So they're going really old school, like actually properly researched old school, where they are paying close enough attention to know that you can't just use the Jurassic World Raptor models because their heads are too blocky. So, I don't know. If they're having people paying that close attention, maybe there is a reason to be more optimistic. All right, I'll give them points. They're researching well enough that a person who is obsessed with Jurassic Park lore as me can see that they're using the classic Jurassic Park and Jurassic Park The Lost World Raptor designs, like, completely, actually not with the Jurassic World movies' blocky heads. All right, cool. Yeah, as I'm pointing out, this tube looks like it's been here more recently. Like, this feels to me like it was a classic engine facility that they were using for research purposes. And then somebody at some point later, maybe during the amalgam testings, that would be interesting. Imagine if this was from the amalgam testings. Like, sure, the products are on Isla Sorna. We know that they got there. But perhaps this was like part of the amalgam testings, and that's where Big Mutant Boy comes from. He is a result of something like that. It'd be interesting. We'll see. There's a lot of lore to draw from, and they're paying close enough attention to the lore to get the old Raptor design in, so I don't know. We'll see. There's a lot of opportunity, but Jurassic World, the trilogy, had a lot of opportunity in a lot of locations and squandered all of it, so I'm not going to hold my breath that they're going to actually utilize the potential of this plot line and the dangling threads that they can pull on. Again, I am not optimistic. I don't hold my breath that this movie will be good. I want it to be good, but I'm not going to believe it until I see it. And it's a good showing. It's a positive, it's a pretty decent looking showing they got here. But there's going to be a lot of work that needs to be done to get not only my faith in the franchise back, but a lot of the common audience. Because Dominion, like the silent majority, I'm going to take a wild guess, has a similar opinion to me. Like the pretty colors and the flashing lights and the fun dinosaurs from the first two movies, at least there was an enjoyable element to that. This movie, and then Dominion came out, and it was just complete trash, with barely any dinosaurs in it and spending most of its time with humans talking about locusts, it was boring, to put it simply, which is a problem. Even with as bad as Fallen Kingdom could have, as people say Fallen Kingdom, it's not that bad. It's on the same quality as the original Jurassic World. Anyone who argues with that, I'm sorry, but you're coping just because you don't like it. A movie's quality isn't tied to your enjoyment. It's tied to how it's actually written. And any problem you can find with the Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom story is in the original Jurassic World. So there's really you're not getting anywhere with that argument, but yeah. So at least those first two movies, they had enjoyable scenes. They were fun. They had a lot of crazy dinosaur action. If you got tied up in how bad the plot was, it wouldn't be enjoyable, sure. But if you just looked at the pretty colors and the flashing lights, it was fine. It's a good popcorn movie. There's people who have different qualities of popcorn movie. A popcorn movie to me is something where the plot is stupid and it's stupid and it makes no sense, but it's still a fun movie because it's got a lot of what you like in it. And I like dinosaurs, so you put a lot of dinosaurs attacking people on the screen, I'm gonna enjoy it. I like 65. I'll just come out and say it. I enjoyed 65. I don't care what anyone says. I don't. And I also liked Godzilla 1998. Would I ever call those movies good? No, but that's just how I feel. And then we get all of that. We get to this movie, and it has a lot of work. It has a lot of work to do to get people's faith in the franchise back. And I hope, upon hopes, that they managed to actually pull it off. I said I didn't have hope before, but I'm not gonna lie. That raptor, me discovering that raptor fact, that raptor in the test tube being a classic Jurassic Park raptor, like fully intact, which we haven't seen since Jurassic Park: The Lost World, it does actually give me some hope that the crew knows what they're doing for once. And that is a very big, important detail, because I don't think I've seen this level of competency from Hollywood in a very long time. Like, I don't even watch Star Wars or Lord of the Rings or any of the other popular franchises, but I do watch the drama, and everybody there seems to constantly make small mistakes and not know what they're doing. This raptor detail, it having the arrowhead design, means that somebody on the crew is paying close attention. And if even one of them is doing enough paying attention to get this model through into the movie, we have some hope that the crew is competent enough to make a good movie. I know that's the weirdest thing to make the connection of. They got Gareth Edwards, they got David Koepp, and that means nothing to me. Because there's a lot of little things that have to happen with a person, or with them making this movie, that have to show that they're competent, and I think this is the first sign. This right here, this weird mutant two-headed raptor failed clone with a proper arrowhead design shows that they're paying attention. They're paying really good attention. And I hope that that means that they can pay attention with the rest of this movie, that David Koepp does a really good job with the story. He pays close attention. And that Gareth Edwards, I mean, we see his CGI direction. Of course, he's an expert at that stuff. We've seen that. I mean, Rogue One was the only Star Wars movie I have seen, like, really, of, like, the new Disney stuff. And that was because it was on TV, and it was like, I think it was like Thanksgiving, and I was down with the family. And, well, I fell asleep because it's a movie that kind of banks on you already knowing what Star Wars is. The CGI and effects look really good. And then, of course, there's, what was that movie he made recently that, like, didn't do very well? What was it called? I forget what it was called. But it looked really good. So he's got the CGI direction on point. All the CGI looks great. The new models, they've clearly got a really good paleontologist on board who's giving them excellent pointers on dinosaur designs, because all the new designs look really good. But so we have a lot of competency, and then on top of that, we have somebody paying close enough attention to the lore to tell them, no, you can't use blocky-headed raptors. Those aren't from the original Jurassic Park. You have to use arrowhead raptors. We have to, because like even evolution put the blocky-head raptors in. So we have 4 levels of already displayed competency here. We have a writer who has a really good track record, and they say his story is really good, and it's interesting to point that out, I guess. I just believe in David Koepp being competent. I just don't know if he had enough material to work with, or if Universal would let him make a good movie. That was really more the question. Then we have Gareth Edwards, who is an excellent director, who's great at directing his CGI artists, and we see that throughout this entire trailer. Despite the really short 2-year turnaround time on this movie, the CGI and effects look really good. So that's another one. The dinosaur designs, the new ones at least, that aren't just taking the original design, look really good. New updated models are absolutely fantastic in terms of paleo accuracy. And we get somebody who's paying good enough attention to the lore that we get the proper raptors. So this trailer, I guess, does show off that they know what they're doing. And that gives me some tinge of hope. But I'm still going to be cautiously optimistic for this movie. I hope it's good, but I'm not going to put any judgment down or even too much excitement until we get more or until the movie releases. We will see. We will see. So I guess we can say there's hope for once after Dominion that this franchise might actually turn things around.